So let me get this straight. There is an employment crisis, a housing crisis, cost of living crisis, brink of war, a population crisis because no one's having kids anymore. I wonder why. And yet we need to stop eating avocados and work a little bit harder.
You know when you just have one of those mornings or one of those days where just everything that could possibly go wrong goes wrong? And the problems in this country have all been highlighted to me in one single morning in the space of about half an hour.
So just every price is insane now, is it? Everything's crazy. I'm not talking about inflation. I understand inflation. I understand stuff gets more expensive over time. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about every product and every service just having the highest possible price so that company can make the most money.
We need public regulation on cost of living here in the UK. I've done a bit of a deep dive and I look at some figures over the past 3 or 4 years. Energy's gone up 100%, rent's gone up 26%, insurance 58% in just 1 year, food's gone up 25%, property's gone up 19%, fuel's gone up 14%, and water's gone up 13%, because obviously it costs more to fucking rain these days.
Your children will be f***ed over if you encourage them to stay in the UK all of their life. And here's the reason why.
£4.65 for 2 slices of brown toast. I says I'll leave it, thank you.
Yes, it's true. As millennials, we collectively cannot afford houses. We can't save to travel. We scrape by our teeth to pay rent.
Absolutely shocked with all these Labour voters who turn round and say, pensioners are rich, pensioners are well off, pensioners can survive, pensioners don't need a winter fuel payment. It's absolutely shocking.
Every person I speak to in my age range is thinking about leaving the UK. These are all people born and raised in the UK, educated in the UK, but they're just like, you know what? Either A, I can't handle this weather no more, B, the cost of living, or there's just more opportunities abroad.
Welcome back to the One Dolar Social. Today we're looking at what's happening right now in the UK, a so-called broken Britain. But before you think that's just their problem, you need to slow down. Because what's happening right now in Britain, like Gen Z stuck at home, millennials cursed by rent and debt, and boomers losing their pensions, is the exact same struggles you see here in America. This isn't just about money. It is about dignity, families breaking apart, young people with no future, older generation feeling betrayed. So don't tune it out. Britain might be the headline, but in reality, the stories is already unfolding in the US too.
If you've got a generation of people that are renting now, and then these people are going to need to be looked after in their old age, well, that's going to fall on the state, isn't it? Because they don't have assets. Previously, you bought your house, you paid off your mortgage, you live in your house, you sell your house, and there's an asset that's going to pay for your care in old age. You don't have any assets. Who's going to pay for your care? Your family? Well, no, because they're too busy working 3 jobs just to pay for their own existence. And they're working later because the age of retirement's gone up. So suddenly you've got no care within the community. So it's going to have to fall on the state. And we're going to have enormous costs for care for the elderly in another couple of decades if we don't start looking at this housing crisis now.
So let me get this straight. There is an employment crisis, a housing crisis, cost of living crisis, brink of war, a population crisis because no one's having kids anymore. I wonder why. And yet we need to stop eating avocados and work a little bit harder. I don't know anyone my age at this point that isn't exploring some kind of side hustle or investment. If you don't have an additional stream of income or investments and wealth accruing somewhere, it is not possible anymore to even participate in society in the way that we used to. Obviously, no one's having fucking kids. No one can afford anything. Now in the UK, once you start earning over £125,000 a year, you make 29 pence. 29 pence on every pound you make after that point. Less than 1/3 on top of that you keep. And that's not including costs and bills. That's just taxed. You know, there's this whole thing of the Henrys, the high earners, not rich yet groups of people that live in cities and are making like extremely high salaries and in theory making a lot of money, but basically have none because of how expensive it is to live in the cities, but they're the only places that you can get those kinds of salaries. Meanwhile, the billionaires are taking £1, $1 salaries so that they don't have to pay income tax, borrowing against the assets they already own because they bought up all the houses in this country, so we can't fucking have them, and then just being like, you guys need to work harder, while they're also taking our jobs and giving them over to AI that is not smarter than a human yet. What is this generation supposed to do? Like, I'm asking seriously, what are we supposed to do? Unless I can figure out 50 million different ways to have side hustles, there is no way to do this anymore. Plus the fact that the UK especially is wanting to tax us to the eyeballs on everything. You can't even sell stuff online anymore for over £1,000 before you get taxed on it. They want access to our bank account so they can tax us on the interest over a certain rate. People are opting for lower salaries because eventually the tax outweighs it and it's actually less lucrative to earn certain amounts of money. Then you wonder why no one's having children. I hear one more person blame this on immigrants, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. Obviously enough wealth in the world, because while most people are getting poorer, we have the largest number of billionaires we've ever had. My dad works with people who will spend $150 million to ship their luxury car collections and put them on show for fun. Yeah, I'm a high-skilled worker that's been working in tech for 9 years and I can't get a fucking job right now. Referral? Nothing. With tailored CVs? Nothing. The right kind of niche experience? Nothing. How do we correct this? Because I actually look at my future at this point and I don't really know what I'm supposed to be gearing towards. I want to have kids. I want to have a family. I also want to build cool shit and have a good life. Not exuberant. I think pretty low-key things. I want to have a family. I want to be able to travel with my family. I want to have a house that fits our needs. And I want to make sure I can take care of my children. That's not a lot to ask for. But here we are. I've been working since I was 17 years old. This is the only time I've ever had a stint of unemployment like this. So if anyone tells me to work harder, I worked myself into a high-paying industry with no degree and barely finishing school because of a mental health crisis. And now I'm broke. I have no wealth. I'm 30 years old. I did everything right. I've been paying into pensions. I've been paying into my national insurance. I've been paying my tax. What are we supposed to do? Even on nearly a 3-figure salary, I still can't afford to buy a house. I'm from London and this is my home, and I'm aware that London is the worst of it, but this is my home. I'm gonna have to leave. I'm gonna be pushed out of my own fucking home. I just swear to God, if I hear one more boomer fucking tell me to work harder and just pull my socks up and get on with it, this is not the same world that you guys came up in. You could afford houses on minimum wage. We can't afford houses on dual incomes of 3-figure salaries. The system is not in our favour. It never was. Ugh.
So just every price is insane now, is it? Everything's crazy. I'm not talking about inflation. I understand inflation. I understand stuff gets more expensive over time. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about every product and every service just having the highest possible price so that company can make the most money. There's just no concept of value anymore. There's no concept of whether the product is actually worth any of that massive price you're asking for. It's not supposed to work like this. It can't be that every product is expensive. Some products are better than others. It used to be if you buy a really fancy sandwich, that sandwich is more expensive. Now every sandwich is expensive. It doesn't make any sense. I saw an Instagram ad earlier. It was for this like heated pillow. And I was like, oh, that's cute. Maybe I'll get that for my wife for Christmas. I looked it up, £100. £100 for the heated pillow. What are you on? That's not worth that. Like, who do you think you are? Are you not a bit embarrassed doing this? You know, and people will come along with the annoying economic argument they always make, which is like, well, things are worth what people are willing to pay for them. But that doesn't work when everything is expensive, because you have to buy some things. No customer is voluntarily choosing or opting into these crazy prices. Just everything's at the max. But there's no concept of value. You know, some of these products are way over their skis. You know, you are not worth that meal deal. Get in your lane. This isn't the diamond business. But everything you buy, it's just like, oh yeah, that's just £40. And it's not even good. And I don't know how it ends. Surely this is a short-term way to operate. We cannot be in a situation where everyone is profiteering never-endingly.
We need public regulation on cost of living here in the UK. I've done a bit of a deep dive and I look at some figures over the past 3 or 4 years. Energy's gone up 100%, rent's gone up 26%, insurance 58% in just 1 year, food's gone up 25%, property's gone up 19%, fuel's gone up 14%, and water's gone up 13%, because obviously it costs more to fucking rain these days. And don't even get me started on TV licenses. But the average salary has gone up by just 11%. All of this left me with one conclusion. All necessary commodities and legal requirements are being used as leverage to profiteer, not necessarily to keep the people down, but merely to profit. They saw what the energy companies did a few years ago and thought, these dickheads just accept price increases, we'll have a go at that. These products and services that are necessary to fucking live or are legally required need to be regulated by the people and for the people. In ancient Greek democracy, they used a system called sortition, where random members of the public were chosen to represent the public within government and vote on certain topics. I like this idea, providing the chosen candidate has an IQ higher than 12, which is more than can be said for most of Parliament. We need a sensible solution before we have another fucking Guy Fawkes on our hands, or even worse, a Raoul Moat.
You're not living in England, you're surviving. You're not even thriving. You're just about existing, and this is what we're doing. We're working to ourselves to death in England, literally. And the government are now trying to, make you work harder for longer, till 67, till you can retire. No. So many of my friends have died before they even got to my age because of stress and other illness, not eating good food, not breathing good air, not drinking clean water. This is the truth. This is the truth. Trinkets and technology don't make a society. People make a society. And in Africa, you have what I call true community, true love, true bonding, true unity. And that's why I'm here.
So I'm just in park, just having my morning walk like I do, getting my steps in. Been to a cafe, bought myself a cup of tea. I thought, I'll have a couple of slices of brown toast. £4.65 for 2 slices of brown toast. I says, I'll leave it, thank you. I could get a loaf of sourdough for cheaper than that. I mean, what the hell is this cost of living crisis? That is ridiculous. Anyway, have a good day.
Do you think home ownership is still realistic for our generation?
I think it can be. You have to be lucky enough or unlucky enough to inherit money, but I do think that for most people it can be out of reach, which is a huge shame, especially in London. The prices in London are just like insane for nothing, so it's a real tough one out there for people our age.
Guys, honestly, I'm done with adulthood. I'm actually done with adulthood. Earlier today I paid my rent, which is 1.2k. Okay, that already hurt my heart. Now I was coming back into my house a bit ago and I was like, you know what, let me check my letterbox, because you know what, it was my birthday recently, and you know what, I was being delusional for a second and I was thinking, maybe I'll have a birthday card in there. Apparently we don't do that anymore in this generation, a text is all we get. But then I picked up some of my letters. I have another bill. The water bill is £168. Great. I thought, okay, I can take that. Now tell me why the electricity bill, or I think this is the electricity and gas. Guys, honestly, I don't even know how it works. Who let me live by myself? £1,843.22. How? I am one person living by myself. Half the time I'm not even home. But I don't understand, because here they've broken down my electricity usage and it's £229. Now, I don't know if the rest of it is meant to be the gas, but I'm gonna call them tomorrow, because the water bill, I can accept that. Like, okay, that sounds realistic. For 6 months, that's not even bad. This one, honestly, scrap everything I said about being independent. I'm done. I don't want to be independent. Do you know what? You want 6 meals a day? I'll give it to you. I'm tired. What is this? How am I supposed to afford to breathe?
Every person I speak to in my age range is thinking about leaving the UK. These are all people born and raised in the UK, educated in the UK, but they're just like, you know what? Either A, I can't handle this weather no more, B, the cost of living, or there's just more opportunities abroad. I honestly feel like there needs to be some sort of task force to combat this level of brain drain, because these are people who the government has probably spent hundreds of thousands in investing in their education and their healthcare from young, and now that they're at their prime, at their peak, essentially the country doesn't have enough to offer them to keep them around. Potentially even including someone like myself, like I own a business here. I'm thinking about leaving, to be honest, as well, because it's just like, nothing works here, nothing feels right. I also think people don't have a problem paying tax when the services are there. I know people from Scandinavia, they love paying taxes because the services are A1. But out here, nothing's working. So you're like, what am I paying for?
There are no houses for the youngsters. And that's about it, really. There isn't much more to say, as the politics are bad, the government is bad. We need a complete reshuffle.
Do you feel sorry for young people trying to get on the housing ladder?
I do, so much, yeah, because they don't have a chance, do they? There's no hope for them. I mean, where are they going to find 30,000 to put down as a deposit? Rents are incredibly high. So no, I don't think it's fair on them.
A lot of the people commentating on the housing market about advice given to young people seems to be stop eating avocado on toast, stop buying coffees. What do you make of sentiment like that?
Go to the young people who are single parents. They don't have avocado on toast. They'll probably be lucky if they get a piece of toast, never mind about avocado. So no, that's rubbish.
Would you have any advice for someone trying to get on the property ladder at the moment?
I can't give them any advice. I mean, what do you say to them?
Yeah.
You know, go and get a job. There are no jobs. Go and get higher wages. They don't pay higher wages. You go to university, you come out of university, they all expect high-paid jobs. They're not there. And the few that are there are snatched up, aren't they? The creme de creme.
Your children will be fucked over if you encourage them to stay in the UK all their life. And here's the reason why. The UK minimum wage is £11.44 an hour. Now if you think about that over 35 hours a week, that's £400 a week, that's just over £20,000 a year. But if you're a pensioner, you're expected to live on £11,492 a year, which is £221 a week. How the fuck can you live on that? Yeah, as a pensioner, you've paid into your national insurance all your life. And if you break down that £221 a week into a 35-hour working week, that equates to £6.30 an hour our pensioners are being paid for grafting all their fucking life. We in the UK offer the most miserable fucking pension plan you can get. So, do yourself a favour, do your kids a fucking favour, and tell them to get the fuck out of the UK. Bye bye.
Okay, this is a message for all those people who live in a glass lighthouse. Labour voters. I am absolutely shocked with all these Labour voters who turn round and say pensioners are rich, pensioners are well off, pensioners can survive, pensioners don't need a winter fuel payment. It's absolutely shocking. I've done a video on this before, and I believe that pensioners need a national living wage. I'm fed up with MPs saying pensioners are well off. Pensioners are not well off. They can't survive. They're struggling like mad. There's more pensioners in debt now under the Labour government than any other government, and this needs to be sorted out. Pensioners need a national living wage. It'll boost the economy. It'll stop pensioners from struggling, and it's needed. Why does this country not understand? Why do these Labour voters believe pensioners are well off? A small amount might be, but the majority are struggling. And this needs to be looked into. The government need to look at increasing the state pension. How can the government say there needs to be a minimum wage for people under state pension age to survive, but then pensioners who've got the same living costs are being told they've got to live on half of that? Madness.
You know when you just have one of those mornings or one of those days where just everything that could possibly go wrong goes wrong? And the problems in this country have all been highlighted to me in one single morning in the space of about half an hour. So first of all, my bloody train got cancelled. Surprise, surprise. You know what the trains are all like in this country. You can't rely on them to do anything. They're either on strike or getting cancelled or delayed or break down halfway or increase the price when it's nearest the time of going on the trip. So absolute shambles. So now I'm going to be like an hour and a half, 2 hours late to work because the trains can't function properly in this country. Secondly, then decided to get myself a coffee from Starbucks because, you know, my train was cancelled, so I'm stuck at the station for longer. So what do I decide to do? I get a latte, a large latte. It's mostly milk, right? It's not even that fancy. It's just milk. Okay, guess how much it was? £4.85. What the hell? So last night I managed to get a pint of lager for £3, and I've paid nearly double that for some milk. This country, if this video doesn't tell you this country's a shambles, and I know everyone talks about this, but I'm seeing it live in the flesh, everything going wrong, and this country is on its knees. It's absolutely shocking. Not to mention it's also like 5 degrees in the middle of April. So yeah, have a good day.
Good morning. I thought I'd make a little quick snippet about the fact that I went food shopping the other day, and it turns out that Aldi's is more expensive than Tesco's for certain items now. What? When did that happen? What is that even all about? Apparently they're not even known as the most... hang on a minute. Mince your words. They're not known as the cheapest supermarket anymore. Tesco's matched their prices. My dog is on a raw food diet, yeah. And basically, I went to get mince, and normally it's cheaper in Aldi's, and it's actually more expensive now. And I was shocked. I'm shocked at that. 5 years ago, 5-6 years ago, if I was to have gone in Aldi's and spent 120 quid, I'd have come out with bags upon bags of shopping. I did that the other day. Come out with 4 bags. Oh. No wonder why so many families are so desperate and all of these bad things are happening to all these people, because it's the fear. The new level of fear is unlocked when you can't even afford to shop at fucking Aldi's. Do you know what I mean? Something needs to happen here. It's a scary world we live in now. Especially when you're bringing up kids by yourself like me, because I don't get maintenance. Oh, that's another story. I need to tell you about the child maintenance story. I'll come on and tell you that one in a minute. But yeah, so Aldi, sort your shit out, mate. Do better.
Okay, I'm old enough to remember when Starbucks first opened in this country, and let me tell you, the price difference between what Starbucks charged and every other cafe in the city was so different. But one of the reasons why the price was expensive was because it was barista coffee. Like, regardless of what you think of the coffee beans that Starbucks use, and like, it was leagues ahead of the instant granules that like the Debenhams cafe had been serving to that point. You know how expensive Starbucks was? My friend, we're like children, or we were like really young, and my friend was so shocked because we don't have an income. My friend was so shocked at how expensive her drink was that she refused to give the mug back. She was like, no, I'm taking it home. It was £2.50. I'm taking the mug. That's how expensive it was compared to everyone else. My friend just was like, there's no way a drink could be worth £2.50. Therefore, I'm keeping the mug. Now, every cafe in this country operates at the same price as Starbucks. Like, you go in the dingiest place, they could be doing like old tea, like rubbish tea, and charging the arm and a leg for it. It's crazy how ridiculously quickly we just adjusted to Starbucks prices, and like there's not really, you can get like a nice cuppa in an old greasy spoon, but nothing else. So yeah, when something comes along that's really expensive and everyone's like, oh my god, soon everything else will match that price.
Yes, it's true. As millennials, we collectively cannot afford houses. We can't save to travel. We scrape by our teeth to pay rent. Okay, but there is something we have accomplished that you can't take away from us. Something we did beyond measure. Now you can look this up. This is true. We collectively spread a rumor, right? Somehow from Australia to America to England, we all got together, put our little minds together and spread this rumor that traveled, that is still spoken about today. We spread the rumor that Marilyn Manson, got his ribs removed so that he could suck his own. We did that. So no, I can't afford a house. No, I'm not happy really with the way my life is going, but I have done something with the help of my fellows. And you can't take that away from me.
Does everyone remember back in the day when we used to buy an ice cream and a flake for 99p? Let's have a look at the prices now. I'm gonna get that. Single flake, £3.50. £4, £4, £4, £4.50. Try! Cost of living.
now I have to admit it's terrible to live in London. It's really hard to survive here. I don't know. I'm kind of tired of the elite narrative in the internet. When I scroll through those people who work in the modern building, like in Baker Street, Bond Street, and they dress so well, take coffee to the workshop, to their office, like to make a vlog to record their daily life. To the audience, I just feel like, oh, I don't want to see, I don't want to read, I don't want to like get attached. It's just tired. And you make people dream so high, aim so high, but sometimes they cannot really make it. They just watch, oh, you're so glorious. Your job is my dream job. You're so decent. I would like to be that. That's my dream. It's terrible. Just know what to do. Even though we leave the UK, we get out of London, I think that's acceptable. It's really. Because it's hard. It's making people depressed. And also the weather is really bad.
Gen Zs are absolutely screwed. In fact, let's throw in a handful of millennials. Gen Zs, a handful of millennials are absolutely screwed. Now, this is probably something you haven't considered from this angle. But if you are unable to buy a property within the next few years, you are screwed because you will never be able to retire, which means you will be working for the rest of your life. Specifically, Gen Zs. Now, Gen Zs, you're in your 20s, maybe early 30s, millennials, early 30s. If you don't own a property and you're currently paying rent, in fact, let's look at the average rent in the UK at the moment. It's around 1,700, 1,600. Based on an increase, let's say a 2% increase in rent every single year for the next 40 years, it's forecasted that rent will be around 3,300 every single month. Where on earth is a 70-year-old retiree supposed to find 3,300 every single month to pay for rent? You've been failed by the one person, the one system, the establishment that was supposed to provide for you. But if you can't buy a property, then there is no offer of safety or security in your old age or when you enter retirement, because what's to stop your landlord from selling the property? What's to stop your landlord from increasing the rents? What's to stop your landlord from evicting you? Now, of course, this isn't a conversation about how to buy a property, because that's also bleak. But it's just to wake you up, because I have no idea why Gen Zs are still enjoying life and partying, unless you just prefer and you just say, do you know what, we know it's dark out there, the future's extremely gloomy and bleak, and we're just going to party away and enjoy our lives and deal with it in the future. But the problem is this, there is no future. Boomers have had it amazing, and this isn't a boomer versus Gen Zs, but boomers have had it amazing. The reason why boomers are okay is because, what if the average pension is £800 and £900 per month? A boomer is fine. Someone bought their house for £50,000. They've paid off their house. Because remember that your largest expense, if you're paying rent, is your rent. 50%, maybe 60% of people's salary goes towards accommodation and covering shelter and covering accommodation. A boomer doesn't have that problem because their house is paid for. So what on earth will Gen Zs and the vast majority of millennials do when it comes down to retirement? Because there is no answer. Are we suggesting that the government's going to increase our pension allocation and our pension allowance? Well, the answer is no, there's no money to do so. The reason why Gen Zs are screwed is because there's no solution. There is no escaping. You can't save, nor can you invest, because there's no money left. So how do they prepare for the future? How do they take matters into their own hands? It's easier said than done. As an investor, just invest your money. But what if there is no money? What if you can't save enough because all your money is going on accommodation? And because all your money is going on accommodation, you can't save to buy. Therefore, you're stuck in this ever perpetuating cycle of non-ownership and dependence. But it can't be dependence on your government because they don't care. So I don't know what the genuine solution is. And the only thing that I can remotely think about is, rather than telling you to invest, it's hold some damn people accountable, which means write to your MPs. Hold them accountable. What are they planning to do to help young people own properties? Because thinking about it in terms of, hey, I want to own a property. It's not just owning a property for the sake of owning a property now, or owning a property so you can show off on Instagram and dangle your keys while sitting on a kitchen counter. You need to own a property so that when it comes down to retirement, you've paid off that property so that whatever money you're receiving from your pension is just survival money as opposed to accommodation money. Because where on earth is a 70-year-old retiree supposed to find £3,300 per month to pay for rent, coupled with no certainty and no security? Genuinely, Gen Zs have been screwed over by this government.
Hi guys, I just wanted to come make a video here for you older TikTokers. Yeah, if you're 25 plus, listen to this please. I'm begging. You guys need to do something about this cost of living crisis ASAP. I can't take this anymore. Me, I'm a uni babe. I get given a lovely loan. Don't ask how I managed to get a lovely loan. It's who you know, not what you know. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't pay for no gas and electric bills. I ain't got no fucking kids to feed. I ain't got no fucking mortgage to pay, okay? I'm really not stressed about this. You guys could tell me the price of gas is £5,000 a month. I don't know what that means. That ain't got nothing to do with me. But very soon I'm going to be a citizen of the United Kingdom, paying bills, paying wage, paying tax. And this cost of living is not going to work for me. I want to be living in luxury with the heating on, okay? You can't be living in luxury microwaving dinner. I'm seeing TikToks about, guys, you know microwaving a potato costs 3p, but putting in the oven costs 27p. I should never have to calculate such a thing in the United Kingdom. In Liz's country, nation, hell, Britannia, all of that. I should never have to do such a thing. So you 25 plus have to be very, very quick and nip this in the bud ASAP, okay? Let's go back to the old days. I don't care if you guys want to strike some more. I love it when we strike. Doesn't affect me. Just keep striking, guys, keep striking. Refuse to pay your bills. Stick yourself on the motorways again. That really pissed them off. Jump in front of the horses. That worked well, guys. That worked well. The horse thing worked well, guys. When's the next horse race? Jump on the horse, please. Someone sacrifice themselves under the stallion, please. Because me, I am not leaving university and going into poverty. How can I be living poorer as a grown citizen than a uni student? Because as a uni student, I eat right, guys. Salmon on the plate, avocado, cucumber, luxury. It might be a little short, but yeah, you don't have to tell everyone's mother, but I'm living comfortably. I should never, ever, ever have a 9 to 5 and have to eat beans on toast for dinner. I should come home to caviar and fucking smoked salmon. So this needs to get sorted real quick, guys. I don't know what you guys need to do. Refuse to pay the bills. Guys, stop being pussies. Don't pay the bills. See what happens. If 2 million people don't pay the bills, what are they going to do? They're going to kill 2 million kids. Are they actually going to kill 2 million people this winter when it gets too damn cold? Come on, guys. They're not going to do it. Let's just get this sorted now, okay? Thank you so much, guys. I would really, really appreciate it, okay? If we lose a few lives under the horses, that's fine. I'll be at the funeral, waving the flag. Waving a flag. Much love to the OAPs.
And that's just the picture of Britain in 2025, but let's be real. America is not far behind, and the cost of living crisis isn't just a UK problem, it is a global one. Gen Z, millennial, boomers, every generation is paying the price of a system designed to keep us struggling. You know, politicians keep us divided, blaming generation instead of billionaires or the landlords and the corporations. And you know, the truth is simple. No one's winning anymore. Just imagine something different. Whether you're in London or LA, a society where young people can move out, working adults can save, and older generations can retire with a good amount of money for their own, that is not luxury. That is the bare minimum for every human needs. If you believe the system is failing all of us, you can let me know in the comment section below and hit the subscription button down below to our channel One Dolar Social, and share this video to your friends, your family, anyone that you love, that you know that they need to know about this problem, because the only way forward is together. And remember, you're not struggling because you fail, you're struggling because the system is rigged. This is One Dolar Social, and we're only just getting started. See you in the next video.